The coffee had gone cold in Marcus's hands by the time he heard the key turn in the lock. 3 weeks. 21 days since Elena had walked out their apartment door asking for space to figure things out. 21 nights of sleeping diagonally across their bed, trying to fill the emptiness she'd left behind. Marcus. Her voice trembled from the doorway. He didn't turn around. Through the window, the city lights blurred into streaks of gold and white. He'd memorized this view during his sleepless nights, counting cars at traffic lights, watching the world move on while his stayed frozen. Can we talk? Elena moved closer. He could smell her perfume, different from the one she used to wear. Something sweeter, more expensive. You said you needed space. His voice came out flat, emotionless. He'd practiced this version of himself in the mirror. The one who didn't break down, didn't beg. I was wrong. Marcus, I was so wrong. She circled around to face him, and he finally looked at her. She'd changed her hair, lighter highlights framing her face. New earrings. A blouse he'd never seen. 3 weeks, and she looked like a different person. I've been doing a lot of thinking, she continued, her eyes glistening with tears. About us. About what we have. Marcus, you're my soulmate. I can see that now. I took a break to gain perspective, and all I could see was you. Our future. The life we're supposed to build together. The word soulmate hung in the air between them like a question mark. She'd never used that word before. In 5 years together, through proposals and wedding planning, through buying furniture and adopting their cat, she'd never once called him her soulmate. Where were you? He asked quietly. What? For 3 weeks. Where were you staying? Elena's eyes darted away. At Sarah's place. I told you that. Sarah called me last week. Asked if you were okay. Said she hadn't seen you in a month. The silence stretched like taffy. Outside, an ambulance wailed past, its siren doppling into the distance. I was at different friends' places, Elena finally said. Moving around. I needed to clear my head. Marcus studied her face, searching for the woman he'd fallen in love with in graduate school. The one who'd laugh so hard at his terrible jokes that wine would come out her nose. The one who'd wake him up at midnight because she'd figured out a problem with her dissertation and had to tell someone immediately. The one who'd made him believe in the kind of love that didn't need words like soulmate, because it simply was. Please, Marcus. She reached for his hands, and he let her take them. Her fingers were cold. I know I hurt you. I know I was selfish and unclear about what I wanted. But being away from you made me realize that I don't want a life without you in it. You're my person. My soulmate. Can you forgive me? Can we try again? Every logical part of his brain screamed warnings. Red flags waved so vigorously they could have powered a wind farm. But there was another part of him, the part that still loved her, that still remembered every good day they'd shared, that wanted to believe in second chances. Elena, if we do this, if I let you back in, you can't do this again. You can't just leave when things get hard or confusing. We're partners. We work through things together. I know. I promise. No more running. She squeezed his hands. I'm all in. Completely. You're who I want, Marcus. You're who I've always wanted. He looked into her eyes and made a choice that his future self would curse him for. Okay. One more chance. But we need to work on communication. Maybe couples therapy. Whatever you need, she said quickly. Whatever we need. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you for not giving up on us. She kissed him then, and it felt both familiar and foreign. Like coming home to find someone had rearranged all the furniture while you were away. The first few days felt like a honeymoon period, only stranger. Elena was attentive in a way she'd never been before, almost performatively so. She'd wake up early to make his favorite breakfast, leave little notes in his work bag, initiate conversations about their future with an intensity that bordered on desperate. What about a spring wedding? She asked one evening, cuddled against him on the couch. We've been engaged for 2 years. Maybe it's time we finally set a date. Marcus stroked her hair absently, only half listening to the documentary playing on the TV. Sure. We can look at venues next month. Next month. She sat up, her eyes bright. Why wait? Let's start looking this weekend. I want to marry you, Marcus. I want to make this official. There was something in her urgency that unsettled him, like she was trying to lock something down before it could escape. But he pushed the feeling aside. This was what he'd wanted, wasn't it? For her to be excited about their future again. This weekend sounds good, he agreed, and she kissed him, hard and fast, like sealing a deal. But there were cracks in the facade. Small things that didn't quite add up. Her phone, which used to sit casually on the counter, now stayed glued to her palm. She'd changed all her passwords, something she mentioned casually while laughing about forgetting the new ones. And there were moments when she seemed far away, her eyes glazed over, checking her phone with a frequency that bordered on compulsive. On Thursday evening, Marcus came home early from work to surprise her with takeout from their favorite Thai place. He found her on the balcony, phone pressed to her ear, her voice low and urgent. I can't talk right now, she was saying. I told you not to call me. No, that's not. Please just. She spun around and saw Marcus through the glass door. Her face went white. I have to go. She ended the call and came inside, forcing a bright smile. Hey, you're home early. Who was that? Marcus set the food down on the counter, his appetite suddenly gone. Just Sarah. She's having drama with her boyfriend again. You know how she gets. Elena moved to the kitchen, busying herself with getting plates. Thai food. You're the best. I thought Sarah was seeing that woman from her yoga class. Jennifer. Elena paused for just a fraction of a second. Right. I meant her girlfriend. Sometimes I still slip up with the pronouns. Bad habit. But Sarah's girlfriend's name was Jessica, not Jennifer. And the voice Marcus had heard through the door, the tone, the urgency, hadn't sounded like a casual girlfriend drama chat. That night, while Elena showered, Marcus did something he'd never done before. He picked up her phone from the nightstand. It was locked, of course, with a new 6-digit code instead of her old 4-digit one. But through the locked screen, he could see notification previews. Most were innocuous, work emails, social media, a reminder about a dental appointment. But there was one message preview from a contact saved only as D that made his blood run cold. We need to talk. You can't just disappear on me like this. The message had come in 3 hours ago. There were 17 unread messages from the same contact, spanning the past 4 days. Marcus set the phone down like it had burned him. His hands shook. D, who the hell was D? The shower shut off. He lay back in bed, pulling up the covers, closing his eyes. Elena emerged in a cloud of steam, smelling like her coconut body wash. She slipped into bed beside him, pressing her cold feet against his calves like she always did. Love you, she murmured into his shoulder. Love you too, he replied automatically, the words feeling like ash in his mouth. Marcus couldn't sleep. He stared at the ceiling while Elena's breathing deepened beside him, watching shadows from passing cars sweep across the plaster like searchlights. The phone sat on her nightstand, 5 feet away, containing answers to questions he wasn't sure he wanted to ask. By morning, he'd made a decision. He couldn't live in suspicion, couldn't build a life on a foundation of doubt. He needed to know the truth, whatever it cost him. Elena left for work at 8:30, kissing him goodbye with the same theatrical affection she'd shown all week. Dinner tonight? I'll cook, she promised. Sounds perfect, he lied. The moment her car pulled out of the parking lot, Marcus opened his laptop. He felt sick doing it, like he was violating some sacred trust. But the trust had already been violated, hadn't it? By her secrecy, her locked phone, her sudden transformation into someone who used words like soulmate without meaning them. They'd shared a laptop for years, and Elena had always stayed logged into her email and social media accounts. He opened her Gmail first, his heart hammering so hard he could feel it in his throat. The first email that caught his eye was from 4 weeks ago, right before she'd asked for her break. The subject line read, Weekend Getaway Confirmation, Ocean View Resort. Marcus clicked it. A reservation for 2. Premium ocean view suite. Check-in date matching the first weekend of her break. But the name on the reservation wasn't Elena Martinez and Marcus Thompson. It was Elena Martinez and Daniel Rothschild. Daniel. D. His hands moved mechanically, opening tab after tab. Her social media messages revealed a thread with Daniel that went back 6 months. The early messages were innocent enough, comments on industry articles, professional networking, but they'd evolved quickly into something else entirely. Can't stop thinking about last night. When can I see you again? He doesn't understand you like I do. Marcus felt like he was watching his life through someone else's eyes. This couldn't be real. This couldn't be his Elena, his partner of 5 years, the woman who'd cried when he proposed at her favorite bookstore. The most recent messages were from the past week, all from Daniel, all unanswered by Elena. Why won't you respond? I thought we had something real. You can't just go back to him and pretend I don't exist. Elena, please. I love you. We planned a whole future together. And then, yesterday, I'm done. Don't contact me again. I deserve better than being someone's backup plan. The pieces fell into place with devastating clarity. Elena hadn't had some spiritual awakening about their relationship. She hadn't discovered he was her soulmate through meditation and self-reflection. She'd come back because Daniel had ended things. Marcus was the safety net, the consolation prize, the comfortable option when her grand affair had imploded. Marcus sat at the kitchen table, Elena's laptop still open in front of him, until the afternoon light began to fade. He'd read everything, months of messages chronicling an affair that had apparently started at some conference Elena had attended. Daniel was a consultant at a rival firm, divorced, childless, wealthy. Someone who could offer her a different kind of life. The emails revealed plans for that life. They were going to move to Seattle together. Elena would leave her job, leave Marcus, start fresh on the West Coast where neither of them had history. Daniel had been looking at apartments for them. They'd discussed baby names. But something had shifted during Elena's break. The messages from Daniel had grown increasingly frustrated. She was being wishy-washy, he'd written. Hot and cold. He needed her to commit or let him go. She'd apparently chosen the latter, or perhaps he'd chosen for her. His final message, sent the day before Elena had returned to Marcus, was brutal. I can't do this anymore. I fell in love with someone I thought was ready to take a leap with me. Instead, you keep one foot in your old life. I'm not going to be your emotional safety net while you figure out what you want. I'm done. Lose my number. That's when Elena had come back. That's when Marcus had suddenly become her soulmate. He heard her key in the lock at 6:15, right on schedule. Marcus. I picked up ingredients for pasta. Her voice was cheerful, artificially bright. He didn't answer. He stayed at the kitchen table, the laptop still open, his eyes dry despite the tears he'd cried hours earlier. There were no tears left now, just a cold, clarifying rage. Elena appeared in the doorway, grocery bags in hand, and froze. She saw the laptop. She saw his face. The bags slipped from her fingers, apples rolling across the hardwood floor. Marcus. Who's Daniel? His voice was calm, almost conversational. I can explain. Who is Daniel? She sank against the doorframe, her face crumpling. It's not what you think. I've read the emails, Elena. All of them. 6 months of them. So please, tell me, what am I supposed to think? It was a mistake. A terrible mistake. I ended it. That's why I came back. No. Marcus stood up, his chair scraping against the floor. You came back because he ended it. Because he got tired of waiting for you to choose him. And rather than be alone, rather than face what you'd done, you came back here and called me your soulmate. That's not true. Marcus, I do love you. I've always loved you. Don't. The word came out sharp as a slap. Don't insult me by lying anymore. I read his last message. He dumped you the day before you showed up here with your soulmate speech. You didn't choose me, Elena. You just didn't want to be alone. She was crying now, mascara streaming down her face. Please, Marcus. We can work through this. Couples survive affairs. We can go to therapy. We can rebuild trust. There's nothing to rebuild. You didn't just cheat on me. You planned a whole life with someone else. You were going to move to Seattle. You talked about having his babies. Marcus's voice cracked, the first sign of the pain beneath his fury. You erased me from your future, and I didn't even know I was being deleted. Elena had been calling for 3 days straight. Texts, voicemails, emails, all variations of the same desperate message. She was sorry, she'd made a mistake, they could fix this, didn't 5 years mean anything, please just talk to her. Marcus blocked her number on Thursday afternoon while sitting in his new apartment. A small one-bedroom overlooking a park he'd never noticed before. It was strange how much of the city he'd missed while living the life he'd thought was his. Strange how, even in the midst of heartbreak, he felt something he hadn't felt in months: relief. His best friend Jordan helped him move the last boxes in on Friday. "You're really doing okay?" Jordan asked, setting down a box labeled kitchen with a grunt. "Yeah." Marcus surprised himself by meaning it. "I mean, it hurts like hell. But it's like I was living in a house that was already on fire, you know? I just couldn't see the smoke." Jordan nodded, cracking open a beer from the cooler they'd brought. "For what it's worth, I never liked her. Elena always seemed like she was performing, you know? Like she was playing the role of your girlfriend instead of actually being your girlfriend." Marcus took the offered beer, considering this. "Yeah, I think I knew that, somewhere deep down. I just didn't want to admit it." That evening, after Jordan left, Marcus sat on his unfurnished balcony, just a cheap folding chair and a crate serving as a table, and watched the sunset paint the sky in shades of orange and pink. His phone buzzed. An unknown number. He almost ignored it, but something made him answer. "Marcus, please don't hang up." Elena. She'd borrowed someone's phone. "What do you want, Elena?" "I need to explain. I need you to understand." "I understand perfectly. You had an affair. It ended. You came back to me as a backup plan. What else is there to understand?" "It wasn't like that." Her voice rose, desperate. "Daniel was a mistake, but what we had was real. Is real. I'm fighting for us, Marcus. Why won't you fight too?" "Because there is no us to fight for." Marcus watched a kid learning to ride a bike in the park below, wobbly and uncertain but determined. "You know what I realized? You called me your soulmate, but you couldn't even be honest about where you were staying during your break. You came back with all this passion and urgency, but it wasn't about me. It was about you being afraid to be alone. That's not fair. You want to know something?" Marcus continued, his voice steady. "I've been checking your Instagram. I can still see your public posts. You've been liking all of Daniel's photos. The ones he posted in the last 2 days. Beach sunset. Coffee art. That new restaurant downtown. You're trying to get his attention, aren't you? Even now, while you're calling me, you're still hoping he'll take you back." The silence on the other end was deafening. "Elena, I hope you figure out what you actually want someday. But I'm done being your consolation prize. I'm done being the safe choice you settle for when the exciting choice doesn't work out. I deserve someone who chooses me first, not someone who chooses me last. Marcus, please." "Godby, Elena. And this time, I mean it." He ended the call and blocked the number. Then, on impulse, he finally did what he'd been avoiding. He unfollowed Elena on every platform, deleted their photos from his phone, removed her from his emergency contacts. Each deletion felt like removing stitches from a wound that was finally ready to heal. His phone buzzed again. But this time it was Jordan. "Beer tomorrow? There's a new brewery that opened. Supposed to have killer tacos." Marcus smiled, typing back, "Yeah, I'm in. Maybe I'll actually be decent company this time." He set his phone down and leaned back in his cheap folding chair, feeling the cool evening breeze on his face. Somewhere in the city, Elena was probably crafting another desperate message, or refreshing Daniel's social media, or figuring out which friend to stay with now that she'd burned the bridge with Marcus. But that wasn't his problem anymore. For the first time in months, maybe years, Marcus felt like himself again. Not someone's boyfriend, not someone's soulmate, not someone's safety net. Just Marcus. And that was enough. Below, the kid on the bike finally found their balance, pedaling confidently down the path without training wheels. Marcus raised his beer in a silent toast to new beginnings, to second chances at first choices, to the courage it takes to let go of what's broken and trust that something better is waiting. The sun dipped below the horizon, and the city lights began to flicker on, one by one, illuminating the path forward. Marcus didn't know exactly where that path would lead, but for the first time in a long time, he was excited to find out. He pulled out his laptop and opened a blank document. He'd always wanted to write stories, articles, maybe even a book someday. Elena had always dismissed it as impractical, a hobby rather than a real pursuit. But now, sitting in his little apartment with nothing but possibility ahead of him, he started typing. The first sentence came easily. The day I became my own soulmate was the day I stopped looking for one in someone else.